All right, here's a video for you on the actual creation of a blog post and how to create the content and how to create a great quality user experience, how to optimize it. So I'm creating a hyper-local blog post today. So this could apply to any kind of blog post that you're going to do. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the structure top to bottom, and we'll just kind of do it together. Actually, I've started the blog and I'll go ahead and continue adding on and show you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And this can give you some insight on some best practices and actually on how easy it is once you have the structure down and what needs to happen. It'll become very natural, very second nature to actually do it. The more you do it, the more natural this becomes, okay? Now, this is a great example because today I actually used a ghostwriter to write the content. So the topic is karaoke Las Vegas. Now, first, let me tell you how I picked that topic. Well, I picked the topic just because it was coming across my Facebook feed as a special event this weekend in Las Vegas, and I realized I did not yet have any kind of things to do in Las Vegas section for karaoke. I've got all kinds of things on bars and shows and themed events, but I don't have anything for karaoke. So I went, oh, okay, there's something I need to do. So I went over to my crowd content. And make sure that you check out the link to crowd content. If you just go here to lauriestools.com, I know I have a ton of tabs open. We'll just kind of work around my tabs right now. If you go over to lauriestools.com and scroll down here and click on crowd content, there's actually a link for you to go ahead and set that up and try it. In fact, we can go ahead and take a look at. Let's go ahead and take a look at, I don't want to lose my spot here, but let me go ahead and show you how much this order costs. So let me go to order summary and I'll show you kind of what it looked like when I made the order. So here, this was a $70 blog post. So that's pretty expensive. I mean, I don't always do $70 blog posts, but if I really want something to be in-depth and complete and I really want to cover a large area, it's going to be higher, okay? So I wanted it in English. Here's the instructions for the writer. Make a list of locations where one could join in karaoke in Las Vegas. List times, locations, and link in a new window to the location. Now, my writer didn't do the links, but I'm adding those in now. Make this fun and informative. Make sure your information is current and all locations are still open. I only chose a 2-star writer, which means 3.5 cents a word. I feel confident with a 2-star writer when I'm doing listicles, you know, those type of just structured lists, and all the person has to do is go look this stuff up and then write a quick description on what that place is or what that item is. And that's really all they're doing. So it's not super comprehensive, super fancy writing. It's more just, you know, kind of a, it's a list of items. So I'm okay with that 2-star. Now, if I went to 3 or 4-star, I'm going to pay more per word. And here my word count is 750 to 2,000. That's what I said. I said I wanted this to be at least 750 words, but no more than 2,000 words. And now I kind of wish I had gone to 3,000 or 4,000 because it looks like there's more karaoke places than what I gave this person the budget to cover. And now I wish I wanted all of them. So I wish I would have gone a little bit bigger because it's hard now to go back and say and add to what's not already on there. But anyway, so it's still a great, it's still a great piece. And I didn't specify keywords or any of that kind of stuff because I'm going to optimize it myself once it's done, okay? So now the writer gave me back the written content here. Oh, she did give me links. I'm sorry, that's my fault. Okay, so there's the blog post. Now, when you get this, it's in plain generic form. It's not optimized. There's no images. There's no videos. There's no internal links. There's no related articles. This is the difference between like ordering from a company like Crowd Content or ordering your content from a company like my marketing company at Ballen Brands, where the entire piece is already done for you and optimized. Here's kind of my gauge. Usually if I get a piece back like this, it takes me an hour to optimize the blog post. And then that's me. I mean, this stuff is like breathing for me. It's so natural. So you're going to have to give, if you're not going to hire out the optimization piece, you're going to have to give yourself the time frame to do it. So you can hire out the writing, but you're still going to spend an hour or two optimizing it after the fact. And I'm going to show you what that means. Okay. So give yourself time if you're going to order a piece like this from a company like this, because there's just nothing done there. And I don't necessarily just trust. I've seen some optimization companies where you could pay like another $100 to have it optimized. But I would suggest, if you're going to be doing that kind of subbing out, that you work with one company that really knows your website and your linking strategy and your goal, because you know how those internal links are set up, which I'll go over in a minute as we actually do it, are going to make a difference for your SEO, for your search engine rankings, okay? So we're not just creating this blog, though, for the search engines. We're creating it for search engines. We're creating it to share on social. We're going to make a video out of it. There's all kinds of, we're going to repurpose this in lots of different ways and make it appealing to a wider audience. All right, so here's my blog post. Now, how did I decide on this title? Well, I came over here to my favorite tool, SEMrush, and up here I typed in something like karaoke Las Vegas. I just used a head term, right? Oh, let me turn that off, so we don't get any more notifications. There we go. Okay, so I could put something in like this, like karaoke bars. You kind of start somewhere, okay? Or karaoke in Las Vegas. Whatever it is that's in your head that you're thinking, that's where you start. Then you come down on here and take a look at this and you go, okay, so here's a suggested list of keywords for that phrase. Here's the search volume for that particular keyword. So there's 1,900 monthly searches for that keyword. So it is the most popular keyword on the page. The organic keyword difficulty isn't too bad. It's at a 66.54 out of 100 versus 85 or 90. So it's not terrible. The cost per click isn't so high, so that means that, you know, there's not a lot of people profiting from this keyword, so they're not bidding very high on it, right? Although, look at this one. This is fascinating to me. So this one's only at 97 cents, and this one's at 309. So if I were going after pay-per-click on this one, which is a whole nother lesson, I'd be going after this keyword phrase and not that keyword phrase. That's so funny. This has a higher search volume, too, and it's lower cost per click. All right, there's not a lot of competition in the landscape on either one. So what this is saying is it may not be super valuable to our business as far as direct leads, direct dollars, direct sales. But for me, the reason I'm writing this is, as a real estate agent, I want to show that I'm all about Las Vegas and that I'm this local specialist. And so the more times Google is picking up that I'm writing about Las Vegas, the more likely I am to rank for an entity for Las Vegas real estate, and the more likely people are to find my website, and the relationship is stored, and then it helps move up my other pages for that person when they search again related to Vegas or real estate. So there's lots of reasons why we do this. And so I make it a regular practice to make sure at least once a month I'm getting in a hyperlocal blog post. That's kind of my strategy. At least once a month. It could be seasonal. It could be things to do on Mother's Day, where to see Christmas lights. It can be where are the best summer camps. It can be, you know, nail salons that do gel nails. I mean, it could be anything that's hyperlocal. So for me, I'm doing the karaoke bars, okay? So over here, I can also look at related keywords. So my best one so far is this 1900, and it's got low search volume. So, I mean, it's high volume, low competition, perfect. But I'll just take a quick look and make sure I didn't miss something. I'll go over to related keywords. So these are keywords that don't have this exact match phrase in it, but they're going to be things that they consider similar. So we'll look down here, and I'm going to sort this by search volume. Oh, you know what? 1900 is the highest I can see. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. Karaoke bar has 5,400 searches. People are spending $4.78. It's still not too high. Okay, so see, there's an aha as we're going through this. Let me search high to low and just make sure. So I might actually include both of those. Let me show you. So karaoke bar, and karaoke Las Vegas. Yep. Okay, so that's very interesting. So I'm going to change this title to karaoke bar Las Vegas. Hold on, I'm just thinking. Yeah, I might. I'm thinking I might kind of semi be covering both. I could also do a karaoke Las Vegas, find a karaoke bar. I like this better. I like that better. Did I spell karaoke right? Okay, so now I'm covering both. So karaoke Las Vegas was the one keyword phrase, and then karaoke bar is the second. Now I don't always suggest optimizing for more than one keyword because it gets a little bit tricky because you want to have your main keyword in the top paragraph as a best practice. You want to have your main keyword in the URL as a best practice. So I'm still probably going to settle in on one for optimizing, and I'll show you how that works with Yoast. Yoast actually has the ability to optimize for the second, but it can get a little bit tricky. So here's the thing. What you need to know is that Google is very, very smart. And you could write a blog post about karaoke bars and never even use the word karaoke bar and still rank for karaoke bar. What we're doing is covering a topic in depth, and all I'm doing is following a kind of a best practice by using the keywords in particular in specific placement. But it's not necessary, it's not required, it's more of a best practice. You can still rank for terms that you never use on the page. That's how smart Google is. As long as you cover a topic in depth, and we're going to use some semantically related keywords. And okay, so here, now we got karaoke Las Vegas, find a karaoke bar. Karaoke Las Vegas, find karaoke bar. That's a little long. I'm going to get rid of find. You know, I think I'm just going to go with optimizing for karaoke Las Vegas. No, I'll go karaoke bar. Okay, I want to keep that short. All right, now we want to make sure that our keyword is in the front paragraph, in the top paragraph. So that's this one here. So I'm using, on my website, I have a Brew. That's a Ballen real estate agent website. And we have customized a lot of our sections to use content blocks. And you're actually going to be seeing more and more of this as WordPress rolls out its new structure, and a lot of the new websites now are actually creating content blocks. Gutenberg, that's what I was trying to think of, the WordPress new design. We're going to see more of this, more user-friendly, SEO-friendly things like content blocks, drag and drop, page builder type things, I think, as we move along. Well, we've already created that in our Brew. But if you did not have, if you're just using plain WordPress, it's kind of going to look like this. Let me open a new blank page and go to new page. Sorry about that. I opened all pages. All right, so it'll just look like this. Title, and then the URL is going to show up there, and then you're going to have a blank box. That's your work. That's your canvas. That's your working section. But here with my website, I'm going to show you how we actually have these little content blocks. So I can click this little plus sign, and I can add a general content block, a 2-column block, a 3-column block. I can add an IDX broker widget for my real estate site, so I can add in real estate listings if I want those to show up somewhere on the page, which I'll show you how I can show you. And then embed code if I want to add a Google map, a YouTube, or video, and then there's a horizontal divider. And there may be some more things coming in the future, but that's what I have today. So this is the general content block. So what I'm going to do is, this is my intro. So I kind of have a standard structure. When I create a blog post, there's a title, there's a URL, then there's an intro, and this is my intro here, and I want to make sure my keyword that I'm optimizing for is in my intro. So we said karaoke bar. So here One of the most popular entertainments in Las Vegas is karaoke, whether you've been inspired by the shows on the Strip. Okay, let me just stop here and show you. There's an internal linking opportunity right here. So internal linking is when you link from one page on your blog post on your website to another page on your website. And part of your non-technical term link juice from that page flows out to the page that you're linking to, passing on some of that ranking power if your main page ranks well. And also, it provides a quality user experience to link to related articles that they can dive deeper into, or it might be something they're interested in. So here, I can say whether you've been inspired by the shows on the Strip. Now, I know that I have a blog post about shows. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click this link, and I'm going to type in shows. Okay, locals choose the best shows in Las Vegas. That's perfect. And I'm going to hit that little blue key, and it's going to enter that link. Okay, so now there's a link there. And this is one of the reasons why I think it's important that whoever's optimizing your content knows your website a little bit, because you got to kind of know what content you have. Now, a really well done blog post should inspire you to fill in some gaps. You should look at a set of keywords and go, oh, this would be a good item to link out to another page. I've never done that article, so let me put this on my content calendar or my to-do list or my reminders, or let me send this out to my writer. However it is that you do it, you kind of make a list of where you don't have pages or blog posts that you want to go back and create, okay? Okay, or you want to let loose with a group of friends, karaoke bars. Okay, I'm going to change this to a karaoke bar, because we're optimizing for karaoke bar, is among the most popular on and off the Strip. When you aren't sure where to go for the most fun you can have with a drink and a mic, check out these well-known tourist meccas and off-the-beaten-path local favorites and join in for Karaoke Las Vegas. Now, I've managed to cover both of my keywords in that first paragraph, okay? And so I do use Yoast, but I don't use it in the Yoast is a plugin that you use for WordPress that helps you SEO optimize, search engine optimize your content. And it turns these little dots green or red or whatever, and gives you suggestions on what else to put on the page to optimize for that keyword. I don't care about the green dots, so I don't worry too much about that because I know the best practices. But if you're following it for that, you're going to struggle a little bit more when you're optimizing for more than one keyword. Just have that in mind, okay? And again, if you're just getting started, just write the content. Do what I teach you with putting in the images and the dividers and make it a good user experience, and don't worry about the keywords when you're first starting off, because it could I don't want you to get stuck on that, is what I'm saying, and you can still rank without placing those in a particular area. So keep that in mind, okay? Little green dot here, just for those of you that might ask, that's the Grammarly app. You can look at that over here, and I also have a link to that. Grammarly checks your spelling and your structure and some of that, and I'm a person that makes typos constantly because I move so fast, so I have to have my little Grammarly checking me, right? And it can also show you if you're using passive voice or something that might not be as user friendly. Be careful with getting caught up too much in that too. Here's another internal link opportunity. When you aren't sure where to go for the most fun you can have with a drink and a mic. So most fun you can have with a drink. I know I have a blog post on the best drinks in Las Vegas. So I'm going to come look here, and I think it's called cocktail, something best cocktails. So I'm going to type in my little keyword there and see what comes up. What did I call it? Best drink. Best pools. I know I have it. Bar. Maybe I never moved it over to this one. Okay, well, if I don't have it, what I'm going to do really quick. That is so weird. I think I'm just not remembering. Let me just go to Google really quick and watch this. I'm going to say search ballenvegas.com for anything to do with a drink. Let's see if they can find it for me. Oh, there it is. No wonder I can't find it. Oh, that's got 2 titles. Sipping in Sin City. Wow. I didn't even use the word cocktail. Okay, hold on. Sipping in. There it is. Okay, see how tricky that can be if you don't know what you titled your blog post? Okay, so now underneath the intro, now I want a table of contents. Okay, let me show you what this looks like. So if we go over here and we click preview, this is the blog post I've already been creating this. So here's the intro we just did. And then here's the table of contents. And what happens is the table of contents will create out of your H2 tags. So if you're using a site like a plain site here, you're going to have to use a plugin like Table of Contents Plus. And I do have a lesson on how to add, or a video on how to add Table of Contents Plus. And it will create those, however you set it up in your settings. You can say, anytime I use an H2 tag like this, best bar, and then I'm going to make that an H2. Anytime I do an H2 tag, I want you to include that in the table of contents, okay? But if you're using a site like mine, a brew, we're going to do this with our content blocks instead. And like our intro, we're going to say, do you want to include this in the table of contents? No, because it's the intro and it's above the table of contents. Now, add the table of contents by adding a plus sign and just dragging in a table of contents. I already did mine, so it's here already. And it looks blank, but this little placeholder actually creates that table of contents, okay? And now we've got Dino's Lounge, and so this was the next section block. So again, we have intro, then I have my table of contents, then I have the general content begins. So we're doing a listicle, so the first item on your list actually begins. Now, a couple reasons why we use these table of contents. One, I've got to get rid of those. Hold on. Let me just preview this. Where is that other? It's so funny. It looks like it's putting that item in bold. Okay, hold on. No. Let me hit preview again. Okay, now it's right. So what happens is it creates a quick reference for anybody, for anybody that is looking at this blog post and maybe they're looking for something specific, or they just want to see a quick list rather than scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling through each piece. They can get to whatever they want by clicking on it, and it'll shoot down the page and take them right to where they want to go. Okay? So some of you might be coding this and manually creating anchor tags that'll do that, that'll shoot down, but this is a way to create it for you automatically. And another benefit is, and it looks amazing on mobile. Let me show you what this looks like. Ignore my emails in the background there. If you look here, it looks great on mobile. It really, really changes, it really increases the user experience by giving them somewhere to go quicker. And you really want to be thinking mobile. How do I design for mobile? And these types of things are very popular for mobile. Another thing it does is it allows for structured data that Google might pick up and add to your website as site links. Add to your search engine results page. So for example, if we go over here to Google, let's type in, does anybody have any here already? No, let me find one of mine. Hold on. Southwest Las Vegas map. I'll find one that I know has them. Okay, so here's we did a search. This is called a query. When we type a search term into Google, we perform the query, and then we see here a search engine results page called a SERP. And if you scroll down, each one of these results is called a snippet. Okay, so the query is a search term, the page is a search engine results page, or the SERP, and each one of these little previews is called the snippet. Okay, now on mine is actually a rich snippet because it's enhanced with these little site links here. You see those? Well, those were created out of the table of contents. So let me click on that page and show you. There it is. Sorry, I have my website magnified here so I can see. You know that thing when you hit your 40s and you can't see as well? All right. So there's the table of contents, and as you can see, that then created site links. So I'm always focused on doing things that are going to increase the user experience and also make Google happy and give me some bonuses, okay? So that's another reason why we do those tables of contents. And they're not always required. You can not put a table of contents, and if Google sees something that looks like a list, it might still give them to you. Again, my things are always best practices. They're not must-dos. They're not have-tos. You can still do well without some of the stuff. And on the flip side of it, you can also optimize something to death and never rank for it because your website doesn't have the visibility. It doesn't have the authority with Google. So it's all, you know, there's not a true, I mean, well, it kind of is a science. There really isn't a true formula for everything. There's best practices. Here's what we have tested and measured and we see work. But Google could change its algorithms overnight and something will be completely different tomorrow. So you have to keep those things in mind. Okay, so each section now, you can see I'm just repeating this. So I have my intro, table of contents, and then I have my first item on the list. And what I've done here is I've included an image and then the description of, and I like to put spaces in between any chunky text. Again, for mobile, break that stuff up. They don't want to be reading big chunky blocks of text. So no more than 2 sentences together without spacing to help the eyes not be as tired when they're reading. Okay, remember, desktop and mobile are totally different, and everything is going mobile, so you have to be thinking mobile. All right, so then I did the same thing, I included a horizontal divider, and let me show you again what the horizontal divider is. It's this right here. See this little like line break, this little section break here? Why that is good is because if the person is scrolling and they're all the way down here on a long form piece of content, instead of having to scroll all the way back up, they're actually going to be able just to click that back to top and it takes them right back up. So if you don't have a Brew website and you're just doing it here, you can create these dividers by installing a plugin called Shortcodes Ultimate. And again, I have the lesson on and video on how to use Shortcode Ultimate. But it's so super simple. Watch this. I've already added it. It's already plugged in. So I'm going to click Insert Shortcode, and I'm going to go down here to Divider. And once you can change the colors and you can make it dashed and you can change the size, but let me just go ahead and insert shortcode. Now it looks like gibberish here, but watch what happens when we click preview. There's your divider. And you can customize that however you like. So again, if you don't have a Brew, but you're using WordPress, just install the free plugin Shortcode Ultimate. There is an upgraded version to Shortcode Ultimate, and you can go over to lauriestools.com and get my link for it. It gives you like a testimonial section, and there's a couple other like advanced YouTube button. There's some upgrades there. But for most of you, the free will be fine until you get more advanced, okay? And so next, and it's a very lightweight plugin. It doesn't weigh down my website. It doesn't slow down my page speed. I've tested it. It's one I really like. Okay, but if you have the Brew, the Ballen Real Estate website, you can just drag in your horizontal divider and it does it for you. Okay. Now, so here's another section, same thing, horizontal, another section, horizontal, another section. Okay, now here's the one I was just now starting to work on, Ellis Island. So what I need to do now is I need to look at this and say, okay, I've got some chunky text. So I'm going to break up a little bit, give some spaces in here. Now, I want to get the address and location of this Ellis Island casino for karaoke. So what I do is I go over here to Google and I type in Ellis Island Casino, and on the right-hand side, Google My Business. is going to Google Maps is going to pop up here with the information I need. So what I do is I just highlight this, copy. Now, instead of hand typing this all in, what I do now, my little trick, I'm going to go back over to my website. Let me close these out. There we go. And I'm actually going to access this text box so that I can see the code, and I'm going to paste this here. Then I go back to the visual tab, and then I'm going to delete what I don't want in there. All I want is the address and the phone number. You see that? So instead of copying it with all that HTML and everything in the WYSIWYG, the what you see is what you get editor, this part, I access the HTML part, and then it posted in with no links and no special coding, and that's all I want for this. Okay, you can hand type it into however you want to do it. All right, now I also like to include reviews because this is the type of place that should have reviews. You know, anytime I'm going to write about best of anything, best restaurants, best pools, best hotels, best things to do for kids, I like to include reviews wherever possible. And reviews are a growing thing on social media. We're seeing a ton of it on social. We're seeing a ton of it on search. It helps SEO, so reviews are huge. So I type in the word reviews, and then I go back over to that Google, and down here I just go to see all reviews. Hold on, where's it at? That right here. They have 1,867 Google reviews for Ellis Island. Now, unfortunately, that's not their karaoke. In fact, let me see if there is a section for their karaoke. Ellis Island Casino Karaoke. Okay, so there is, but there's not special reviews. Okay, so, however, I can see that the reviews changed to be appropriate for their karaoke. So let me go ahead and go to all reviews. We'll just go ahead and do this for now. And then I'm just going to take this link. I'm going to sort this by most recent. I'm going to take this link, and I'm going to put it here for reviews. But let me see if there's something better. Here's a couple things you can do. We could go over to Yelp. Yelp actually lets you embed the reviews. And we could type in find karaoke bar near Las Vegas. And so here's one I did, J Karaoke. Let's go ahead and see if there's an Ellis Island one. If you're writing your own content, this is a great way to find your list, by the way, on what to include in there. In fact, I'm going to go see which ones I didn't get in my letter, and I'm going to add them. I want to cover them all. Okay, so now I'm going to, let's see if I can find Ellis Island karaoke. I really want specifically. There's the brewery. There's the barbecue. Yeah, they may not have anything. So let me look and see here. So this one is about the steak. Search within the reviews. Karaoke. There we go. Got it. Okay. Now what I'm looking for is a high rating. I don't want to pick this place apart. It's not my opinion. I haven't been there, so I'm definitely not going to do anything to hurt them. But I like this here. If you look here, great karaoke place and restaurant, was able to get the steak to me out in 15 minutes, whatever. Karaoke starts at 9. Okay, I like this one's a killer description here. Okay, so what you do is you go over here to embed review. This one's a 4-star, that's fine. 4 or 5 stars. Then you just copy that code, go back over to your blog post. I'm going to click on that text option again where we access the code. And down here, I'm just going to paste that embed code, go back to the visual editor. And now look, it doesn't show here, but if I click preview now, we're going to go down to that Ellis Island. See, here's a great example of the table of contents. If I wanted to go down to Ellis Island now, I'd have to scroll down the whole page. But instead, I can just click here, and it's going to shoot me down there. But see, here's the Yelp review. Isn't that pretty? So it's now embedded on there, and the person can actually see that, and then they can click over and go back to Yelp. So yes, you are benefiting Yelp by embedding their item on your website, including a link. But you're creating a quality user experience for that consumer that might be curious about that place, about their reviews. So you can use Facebook to embed reviews. So you can embed reviews on their Facebook page. You can use Yelp. There's probably other things that I haven't really gotten into yet. Google does not yet have the ability, as far as I can see, to pull in one of their reviews and just embed it. So I like to put links there, and that'll give them more ability. But I like this one because it's specific about the karaoke, where this one was kind of generic about the casino. And you can include more of those. This is just an iframe. It's not helping your SEO. Google's not going to read these words as actual content on your page. There's no duplicate content issue by putting that iframe on there. Google's still giving that credit to Yelp. You're not taking away anything from them or duplicating that content. You're using an iframe, which still credits them. So it's perfectly fine to do that. Okay. So now let's shoot down to add an image. Okay. So now I want to find a picture of Ellis Island karaoke. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to type in Ellis Island karaoke. And then I'm going to click on, okay, so there's a video. So I might include a video if the video is good, or I might include an image. Let's see what something like this looks like. Yeah, that's kind of scary. Okay, so let me look up something on, not that guy was scary, but that wasn't a great video. What I do if I'm going to embed a video, oh, this is funny. This is our mayor. Hold on, let me look at this one. This could be a good one.
This is a big deal. I'm here at Ellis Island with the family-owned business operators here, the two beautiful daughters and the father, and they're doing something very special for Las Vegas. They're having favorite songs. And right or wrong.
Okay, I love this. Here's why I love this. This is as local as you could possibly imagine. Well, this was the mayor. Now his wife's the mayor, but this is as local as you could be. Oscar Goodman is a well-known figure here, a political figure and whatnot here in Vegas. And he's talking about Ellis Island. He's on the karaoke stage. It's a great video. It's clear, it's crisp, and he sings karaoke, and he's holding his classic martini. I love this. Okay, so now watch what I can do here with this video. I'm going to click share, and I'm going to take this video. And there's a couple ways that I can, there's many ways I can actually put this video on the page. One thing I can do is I can go over to the embed code actually, and I can say, okay, I don't want to show related videos. I don't want to show the video title, but I'll go ahead and allow player controls so they can pause and whatnot. And I'm going to take this iframe code and I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back over to our page, and again, I'm going to access that text code, and I'm going to paste this in. Let me find my spot. The green dot's in the way. I'm going to paste it in there at the bottom. Okay. Now, the only challenge with this is the sizing might not be right. So I'm going to go back to visual. Here's the video. Oh, I'm going to put that at the top. Now, that's a good, okay, so I want to put that at the top. Watch how I can move this to the top. All I have to do is click the video. I'm going to cut it, just like cut and paste. And I'm going to paste it back here up at the top. See how easy that was to do? Okay, now let's preview it to see how the sizing of our video actually looks. So you kind of have to play with this. Create content, hit preview. Create content, hit preview, because you got to see how it's laying out, because it looks different when you're structuring. Oh, that's beautiful. That's perfect. Nothing needs changed. Love it. Okay, so I like to make sure I'm including video on the page whenever possible as well. Not too much video, but I'm gonna put a blend on there of video and images, and that's an excellent one to have on the page. Video also creates a more quality user experience. It increases their time on your page, which can be valuable for SEO. And so it's a great thing to include on your page. I like to have video on every page I possibly can. All right, so that's a great little section here. Now, I want to look and make sure, is there anything else I need to include here for, I don't have anything on Elvis impersonators, but you know what? There's a to-do. There is a to-do. I'm going to copy this. I'm in Vegas. People love to hire Elvis impersonators. So this would be something good for me to have. So I'm going to go down to my reminder list. I'm using my Apple reminders, and I'm going to paste this right here. This is my to-do content. And I'm just going to put that right there. And then I click away. So whenever I'm looking to sit down and create more content and order my writers, I'll go to my to-do list, okay? Ellis Island Bar. Okay, perfect. Microbreweries. That's another one I haven't done on Vegas. You see how a blog post should inspire you to create more content? And that's what this is doing, okay? Regardless of what my business is, what my industry is, or what I'm writing, this applies to everything. You should always be thinking about what content don't I have that I could create. But you don't just create crappy content. It has to be a really kick-butt piece of content, or don't bother creating it. You want it to be a good piece of content. All right, and then so here's the next one. I would do the same thing. I'm going to go in and add the address, add the phone number, add the link, add reviews, add an image, add a video, and then break up that chunky text and include internal links. Then I would go down to the next section and do the same, and then I would do the next one. Add a content block, general content. Oh, I forgot my divider. So all I have to do is go up to plus, add my divider, and I'm good to go. And then once I have everything on the page, I'm going to use my configure rich snippet. If you're using Schema, doing Schema markup, and I'm using the all-in-one Schema free plugin for WordPress. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to say, what is this page about? It's an article. So I'm telling Google just even more specifically, this is what my blog post is about. So I'm going to upload an image. I'm going to title this. I'm going to put a short description. I'm the author, Lori Ballen, and the publisher is actually, I'm putting my website, or it could be my Lori Ballen team, but I do my website, ballenvegas.com. My publisher logo there. Okay. And then that will tell Google more about what my article's about, and calls more attention to the specifics and possibly to the structured data on the page as well, which we have with our table of contents. Then with a Brew website, I can say, do I want to feature this on the home page? Do I want to hide the sidebar and make it a wide theme instead of with the sidebar? I can choose to do that. And then here is your Yoast. So this is what I was talking about with your multiple keywords. So my one keyword is karaoke Las Vegas. My second keyword, excuse me, we're almost done, is karaoke bar. Now let me update this page so we can get that Yoast to be current. So I'm going to click Save Draft. For those of you that are obsessed with the green dots, we'll scroll down here. Okay, I already did it. So they're already green. So again, see, if you know what you're doing, you don't have to be obsessed with the guidelines so much. But when you're first learning, you might really love this. And a lot of my students love Yoast for the green dots and make sure they followed all their best practices. So here I was able to actually optimize for both. But here it will even tell you more. So the keyword density is 0.1%, which is too low. So it's suggesting that I use the keyword karaoke Las Vegas a couple more times on the page. Okay, so I go, all right, well, that makes sense. So let me go up and see in my content where that might be a natural thing to do. Maybe I'll put it in my conclusion, my takeaways. So down at the very bottom, I'll do a general content and I'll do a conclusion. I won't put that in my table of contents, nothing here. And I'll put, if you are a karaoke Las Vegas enthusiast and know of a karaoke bar we didn't mention, send us an email and we will included. Okay, now I covered my karaoke Las Vegas keyword and I covered my karaoke bar keyword. And send us an email. I'm just going to click link, and I can either send it to my contact form or I could put mail to Lori@LoriBallen.com. Hit enter. Okay, I'm going to hit save draft. I'm going to get Yoast to update here. Just so that you know, reminder, this blog is already 2,000 words long. When I finish adding all the other karaoke bars, it'll probably be 3,000, and my goal is to rank top for karaoke bars, just to get that local traffic. And so keep that in mind as you're looking at this. And one other thing I should show you before we complete this here. So here, by the way, so remember we added karaoke Las Vegas. Now Yoast is saying the keyword density is 0.3%, which is too low. Focus keywords found 2 times. So it's suggesting still we go back and add it again. And then you can look at your little improvements to see if there's anything more that you can do to optimize it. That's perfectly fine. Over here, after we create all this or before, if I go over to SEMrush and I go down here and I click on SEO content template, this is a great way to find out what other keywords you should be using on your blog post or what you might not have covered, as well as how long form the competition is. So I'm going to type in here karaoke Las Vegas because that was one of our, let's do karaoke bar, create SEO template. Now what this does is it goes out there and it scours the web and it looks at the page 1 rankings on Google, and it looks at what they all have in common. So it's kind of like a correlation report. What do these all have? Okay, they all, so then it shows you a list of your top competitors, and then it says, yeah, that does not make sense. Karaoke bar, that there's only 277 words. Okay, hold on, let me try karaoke Las Vegas. So nobody's really using that word, optimizing for that. Karaoke. Oops, I'm sorry. Let me go back to the SEO content template. Karaoke. You could also do this. So you go to karaoke, and you can actually just, that's why. It says I'm in Maryland. Huh? We want to go to Nevada. There we go. That explains a lot. And I'm going to change this to Las Vegas. And I'll just type in the word karaoke. Let's see what that comes up with. We'll take a look at that head term karaoke on its own without the word Las Vegas and see what it gives us. And phone and desktop are different. They have different rankings. They have different results. So if you're optimizing for mobile, I would be running a report for mobile. And again, with over 50% of the search traffic on Google being mobile, it's a good idea to optimize for mobile. Okay, so for karaoke in general, this is saying at least 500 words. So what this is telling me is there isn't a lot of long form content on this. So I think my blog post could stand a chance and do really well. It's also saying related keywords. Las Vegas, yeah, there really is. You know what it's doing? It's saying there is just not a lot of content on this keyword, on the keyword on Las Vegas. So if I'm doing something a lot more competitive, like how to buy a house in Las Vegas or something like that, it's going to be a ton of competition. It's going to tell me the average keyword, the average word count on the page is 1,800 words. But in this case, it looks primarily like the people that are ranking for karaoke are the karaoke bars, which makes sense because they're on topic and Google recognizes them as a karaoke bar, but they haven't done a lot of content. In fact, I was just browsing all of their websites and hardly anybody has any content. So although my website is not a karaoke bar, and it's not all about karaoke, so it's not as topical as some of those other websites, creating a long-form, awesome piece of content could create it to rise up on the search engines if somebody just types something in like karaoke bars or karaoke Las Vegas, okay? So this is just kind of a best practice. It really doesn't look like it was anything we needed today for this particular topic because we're kind of creating the first of its kind. It looks like there's not a lot to compete against here. And so this is great. This is actually very, very hopeful to me that my page is actually going to do incredibly well. Now, if I wanted to, by the way, I have a left-hand column here, as you can see on my website. Now, left-hand columns do not show up on mobile. They actually turn into as part of the menu, or they push down to a menu underneath, depending on how the theme works. So they don't get a lot of action or a lot of play on mobile at all. So you cannot count on this sidebar to have your call to action, your offers, and get people clicking through. You're going to have to do something else. Now, what I could do, because I'm a real estate agent, what I could do here is I can do something like this. I could scroll down here and just put something simple in the heading, and oh, by the way, if you are thinking of buying or selling a home in Las Vegas, consider Lori Ballen team. And then what I could do here is that buying a home, I could actually link this to my homes for sale page, and then selling a home, I could link that to my page at my article on how to sell a home in Las Vegas, or to my home values page. That's one way to do it. And I could put these little quotes on here, you know, something like that. Another way to do it is down here, like under Dino's Lounge. You see how we've got an address here. What I could do is I could add another little content block, and I could say homes for sale near Dino's. Okay, then I go over to, now you can see why this takes me forever. I'm going to go over to IDX Broker. If you're doing a really good job optimizing, it's going to take you at least an hour. And I'm going to go down here to my IDX Broker. Now I'm going to go create a widget. Oh, I might already have one. So I'm going to go to Designs, Widgets, Manage, and type in 89104. Oops, 89104. And don't worry, I have videos and lessons on each one of these elements in depth, so you don't have to learn everything from this one video. But this is, I like these kind of walkthrough videos so you can see how the whole thing comes together. 89104, I want a 6-pack, so that'll show me 6 listings, a 3-pack or a 6-pack. So this is good. So I'm gonna, all I do is go over here. I can preview it to show you what it looks like. See, this is a 6-pack. I call it a 6-pack, meaning it's going to show me 6 properties on the page and their variety of prices. This is exactly what I want. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to grab this widget code. See that JavaScript? I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back over to my blog post, and I'm just going to paste this in here. Now, if you don't have a brew and you're just using a straight WYSIWYG like this, just find the spot you want it, click on your text box, and just paste it in wherever you want it. And now same with the video. If you need to move it, just cut it and move it wherever you need it. And then you can click preview. And there it is. And so in my case, let's go back to the brew and take a look at where it's at. Right here, homes for sale near Dino's. I really like that. And then we're going to click preview. And the tricky thing is, though, with all of these elements, you do risk slowing down your page speed. So you still want to make sure that your page is loading in 3 seconds or less. If you have too many widgets, too much video, too many images, it could slow it down, okay? So for example, well, I haven't published this yet, but once I get done with this, I'll go over to my speed check, which is right here. I'm Pingdom or GT Metrics. You paste in the URL of the page you want to measure, drop this down to the location near you, hit start test, and it should be like 2.92 seconds or something. The score is something completely different, but the speed it'll tell you how many seconds it loads, and it'll be like a 2.9 or whatever. If it's loading in 4, 5, 6, 7, you got a problem. And it might not be your elements on the page. You might need to change your hosting. And if you do need a better WordPress host, contact us over at ballenbrands.com. Here, ballenbrands.com. We actually do have hosting for WordPress. So right here, click on real estate hosting. and we can help you move your website over and get it sped up if hosting is your issue. And of course, we also build your real estate websites here, and you can reach out to us here. So that's your lesson today, start to finish, creating a hyperlocal blog post, optimizing it. And again, that's really just creating any blog post and optimizing it start to finish, kind of a walkthrough on exactly how it's done.